this is one of the first events I've ever done on a big adventure bike. That sort of stuff isn't out there. There's loads of events out there if you've got a 450 KTM or whatever. You can just go online and find hundreds of enduros and stuff every weekend. But trying to find something to do with these is actually quite tough. You see all these videos and images and stuff, and it's all a bit Ewan and Charlie, let's ride to Mongolia. And no one's got the time to do that. It's really expensive. And it's just so unachievable for loads of people. So trying to find stuff that you can do on a big 1200 adventure bike is actually quite difficult.
When you come to the reality of rallying, the top racers are quick, but the rest of us aren't. And really where we get our enjoyment from is by navigating and having a great day out, say 300, 400 kilometre day. And we think that's perfect for the big adventure bikes, to get these guys involved with doing something with their bikes that they can't normally do, find places for them to ride that they can't just go and ride on an everyday basis.
Oh, it's been biblical. I've never actually ridden in rain quite like it. It was sort of all right up until the first forest at Radnor, and then I stopped at Crossgates for a pie and a cup of tea basically, and it seemed everyone else had the same sort of idea. There was loads of people, and then went off, and then there's the big valley road which leads you up to Raider Forest. So, oh my god, the mist just sort of descended in. It's so atmospheric. It's like something out of a horror movie, and you're sort of riding along, and you can just about see maybe 10 metres in front of you, and then in the distance you'll see a brake light suddenly start pulsing. You're like, oh bloody hell, something's about to happen.
The roadbook is a set of instructions on a paper roll, sort of a turn-by-turn simple navigation system that links into your mileage on the road. So when you get to kilometre 2.62, you should find a T-junction with a left-hand turn. That should match your instructions, so you turn left.
The thing that was new to me was that I've never done roadbook stuff before. So I've seen it before, I'm familiar with it, I've seen it firsthand, but I'd never actually ridden with one before. So what's really nice is that RallyMoto have got this sort of, not disposable roadbook, it's made out of a lunchbox, and they can roll up a little roadbook inside it. You can just do it manually, you just need your phone as like a little trip meter, and you're, for no real expense other than a few quid to hire it off Bert, you're sort of getting the Dakar experience really.
They fit very nicely to the adventure bikes. It's not a full-size rally roadbook. It's a very simplified roadbook, so it's easy to understand and easy to follow.
So it looks like Michael's made a small navigation error, has turned left when should have turned right. We can see it and he can't, which is probably quite frustrating for him. Yeah, this is a very useful thing, especially if we see people who are heading way off piste. Because this is an amateur rally and this kind of roadbook event is more instructional, it means that we can send them a text or try and give them a call on their mobile and let them know that they're off the track and what they need to do to kind of get back on track.
There are a couple of little bits that are slightly challenging. There's a little sort of a downhill, sort of bumpy descent, and there's a little bit of a scramble up in one of the forests. But it's one of these things, when you get there, you just stare at it like looking off the edge of a cliff and you're like, oh God! But actually when you do it, once you get onto it, you just roll down it nice and slow, and it's super gentle, it's really achievable. Also, you know, Patsy Quick's here, and they're doing a little bit of like a trial section, a skills area, which is nice. You know, you do get to do low speed control if you've never done that before. And they're also doing little bits of training. So if you're totally new to off-road and you've never done it before, you can come along early, spend an hour riding their KTM, get used to the idea of handling these big bikes off-road, and then when you actually get onto the skills sections and when you get onto the off-road bits, suddenly it's not so daunting.
We want to look after the bikes, we want to look after the rider, so the course is actually fairly simple to ride. The adventure is going out and seeing the scenery, is going through some forest you can't normally ride, and we see that you could take a bike out of the showroom in showroom condition and say, right, I'm going to do the Wales 500 and give it a go.